Bikes, 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 and more bikes. This is the age group transition area for Ironman 70.3 Oceanside. So let's go take a look. Have to talk about this Lightspeed. It has really caught my eye. This is a titanium frame. I mean, I don't even know how old the Lightspeed is, but these are the sort of frames that were around when I just first started racing. See these in the magazines in the late 90s, early 2000s. But what I'm really noticing about this bike is it's got small wheels, 650 wheels. You do not see this on a bike anymore. So it's kind of nice to see an old school bike. Another thing that's caught my eye in transition areas is these disc covers. Really, really good alternative, and cheaper, should I say, alternative to a regular disc wheel. This is a standard deep dish wheel. Add this disc cover on, gives a far more aerodynamic benefit. Really cool. So next stop in transition, another bike that's caught my eye is this Diamondback Andean. I'll be honest, I am not a huge fan of the looks of this bike, but it is quite incredible to look at nonetheless. It isn't my cup of tea, but it is like a spaceship. Now the Oceanside Transition area just keeps delivering more cracking old school bikes. I don't think I've seen a Kestrel like this ever in real life. I don't know how old it is, but I do think it's pretty cool. Again, old school Spinergy 650 wheels. I haven't seen a set of those since I was looking at magazines in the mid-90s. Now we are at Oceanside 70.3, where the bulk of the race goes into the marine base at Camp Pendleton. I can't help but wonder if there's a little bit of a coincidence here that we've got a fairly camouflaged looking bike here. I love it. I think it's a really cool colorway. Just not sure if you think somebody's going to steal his bike. Now, Trek bikes are famed for their Project One paint jobs that they can do on bikes, or rather, you can pay for Trek to do on your bikes. Well, this one here is an absolute beauty. I mean, that fade from the luminous yellow into luminous orange, I think it's amazing, and you're not going to miss this athlete on course, are you? 3 bikes, 3 different hacks on each of them, so I'm going to get through them really quick. But the first bike didn't catch my attention because of the hack. Caught my attention because of this crazy down tube. This is a Linsky with some sort of twist to its down tube. It's a beautiful titanium frame, old but absolutely stunning. But what I did notice up here is I think this person has a little bit of an issue with germs, because I've never seen a plastic bag covering the straw in transition before. Mad. Even more mad, in my opinion, is the rubber gloves in there, presumably to keep gels and nutrition clean. Same thing down here on the adapted bento box for their gels and other things. Mad. Never seen that before. Really clever hack on this bike is some clothes pegs to keep this plastic bag over the electronic gearing in case it rains tonight. A lot of athletes like to do that. Keeps things dry. And on the keeping dry note, this final bike, we got a swim cap on top of the saddle. I don't think this person realizes when they get out of the water, they're going to be wet anyway, but it keeps them happy. Now, a lot of people love to give themselves a little treat pre-race, and clearly this person has decided to do just that, because this is a pretty funky new chain and cassette combo. Gold KMC chain on this bike here, brand new cassette, not a speck of dirt on that thing. Make them feel a little bit fast on race day. Right, we are in Oceanside, which is in the US, so fortunately I have come across this, which is a stunningly beautiful Stars and Stripe themed Diamond TT bike. I mean, the way the sun's hitting this bike right now, the paint is just shimmering in this beautiful metallic fashion. I love the Stars and Stripe theme. Absolutely stunning. Right, now, clearly in an Ironman there are all shapes and sizes, which is a brilliant part about the event. But I don't think I've ever seen a bike quite as small as this one hanging on the rack. It's a little bit windy today, as you can see. Now, there is no end of funky paint jobs in transition here. There is clearly a gold fetish on this bike. Definitely caught our eyes. Gold KMC chain here again. Gold decals. Even got a gold chain guard here as well. The only thing I would notice is this is in the little chain ring, but I'm not going to knock that because the exit of transition here is a steep hill, so this person has done their homework. Now, this is something I have never seen in a transition area as far as I can ever remember. I think this person has left their bike in transition a little bit too long because somebody's stolen their wheels. I'm guessing there's been an issue and their wheels have been given to a mechanic and they're able to bring them in tomorrow morning, but I have never seen a bike without wheels in transition. Now, I always like to have something on my bike when I'm traveling to keep the rear stays firm and, well, basically safe so they don't get squashed. This little tool here is definitely something along those lines, not necessarily to keep the stays from being squashed, but for keeping the chain tension and in line, presumably in travel or in times like this when there's no wheel in the bike. Really cool. Right, so a lot of athletes like to prep everything before race morning so they don't have to think about anything, and this person's clearly one of those. They've got their shoes on the bike, they've got bags there over the shoes in case it pours with rain tonight, I suppose. Equally as nutrition, they've already got it all taped onto the top tube here, double wrapped in cling film again to stop them getting wet, I guess, if it rains overnight. And finally, they've bagged up their front end to stop their electronic gears from getting wet. So we were in the expo earlier on today, and a very nice gentleman came up to us to say hello and say how much he loved GTN. Now that was Karim Khan, who is the owner of this beautiful Canyon Speedmax that he has had custom painted by a friend that lives nearby where he is in the woodlands near Houston in Texas. Now, it's a very beautiful blue. It's some type of barbed wire effect, I guess. Whatever it is, I think it's amazing. It really caught my eye. He's also got his Team Racing logo on here. You can see it on the crossover between the seat stay and the top tube. Valhalla Racing is his team, and that's the logo there. You can also see it right across the disc. Stunning. Now, in a time when anything to do with hydration and aerodynamics is quite simply obsessed over to the nth degree, it's really nice to see throwback to the old school, and that's this Profile Design Aero Drinks bottle. I used to have one of these, well, not quite as big as these actually, but essentially you just strap it here in between your regular aero bars, and these yellow things, these sponges, are effectively what stops the liquid or anything you've got in there from splashing back out, but you can pour it back down through it on the go. Now, I've seen a lot of things in transition areas over the years, but never in a 70.3 Ironman transition area have I seen a full suspension mountain bike. That is mental. For 56 miles of bike riding on a hilly course, this person must have decided they want to give themselves a proper challenge. Right then, we have just finished a walk through the Oceanside 70.3 transition area, and it is a bit of a monster. It took us a while because there's nearly 3,800 bikes in there, and as you'd expect, covering the entire spectrum of bike, from the superbike right through to the trusty old steed. But what I found really refreshing about being in there was that there was an entire section of bikes that were just your normal, not expensive bike, the sort of bike you'd find in any person's garage, because you can do a triathlon or an Ironman 70.3 on whatever you have. So, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit that thumb up like button, hit the globe to subscribe and get all the other videos on our channel. And if you want to see a video that we did on the tech in the Oceanside 70.3 Expo, you can find that here.